Look at this. Is it wider? Is it wider? I don't
It
think
looks a little bit girthier. I'm not gonna
girthy.
lie.
You think there's some more girth
Look on the
to it?
mini map. Look on the mini map.
True. Maybe.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me that river didn't get a little bit wider.
I don't think there's more fish though. But
No,
anyway,
it does look like the same
without
amount.
further ado, without talking about girth all day long, to give an introduction into our, I mean, as if they need any. So we have the 3D boys, Anotand and Cat, legends in their own right. Well, pros, absolute gods. We have John d'Arc and Chinese. Okay, cool. I like that pick. I like that pick for this map as a team. And then on the left side, spawning in absolute Canadian brother legends, whatever you want to call them. Many titles, many games won, I'm sure. We have Puppypaw Wam as a Delhi Sultanate. Oh, okay, cool. We got some Arabic, or rather some Asian going on. So we've got Puppypaw Wam on the Delhi Sultanate and Abbasid dynasty. Nice. Instant wall up from Anotand in the middle, or certainly trying to get this up. And he's using John d'Arc to do this. And a barracks is out for Jean d'Arc.
Yeah, you also see a barracks coming out from Wham. As IW Patrick put in the chat, he's never seen a 2v2 on Canal. So I think we chose a good map just to see something fresh.
I think so.
And should be interesting to see what strategies we get out here.
And I mean, look how much more space there is on a 2v2. Like, you are genuinely, on a 1v1, you are restricted to about what you can see on my map. And if you can see here, you know, that's like a fifth, a fourth. It's almost quadrupled the island size that you're stuck on, which obviously means a lot more walling. A lot more, obviously, a lot more time to get over to the middle as well. But yeah, very interesting spawns for this 2v2. I didn't quite envision this.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that, right, is it means Dark Age shenanigans, which we always see in pro games on this map, are harder to pull off because your units have to walk further before they can do damage. And as a result, Puppypaw was able to get up 3 Delhi shooting fishing boats before Anotand got over here. But that's not going to stop him from putting up a tower just outside of the range.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you know, I only pay attention to half the things you say.
Way to provide. Way to add.
Add value. I thought you covered it all. But yeah, exactly. He knows what he's saying.
I think, you know, you made an interesting point earlier, Nomad, about how there's the same amount of fish on this map as there is for 1v1. Which I would say is at least, it looks to be true. At least looks to be close to true. And as a result, only one player from the 3D clan has gone on water, though he is going for a second dock.
Yeah.
As opposed to both Puppypaw and Wham going for the dock on their side. I have noticed though this map, it's not always about actually getting the fish as much as it is about having the military ships to punish your opponent, right? Because you can ride these things up and down the whole coastline to control the map.
Exactly. And I think as well, getting the other units out, I mean, I'm obviously a lot lower ranked than these guys, but sometimes I've found, you know, Anotand's strat here, not actually producing a dock and just going full Dark Age in on someone does pay dividends. I'd have just loved to have seen that tower a bit closer in, and it would be doing some real damage on this, and I feel like he should have maybe committed a bit harder on that.
Yeah,
So
he initially...
One thing that's been interesting, by the way, is that he brought up John for the tower to help deny the fishing, which it hasn't done a great job of so far. And the reason you do that is because John has the improved build speed over a normal villager. But now that she's up here and doesn't have a lot to do, he keeps starting and stopping building a house in order to get her experience, because otherwise she's not only a wasted villager just standing around up here, but she's not getting to level 2, which means she's not able to hunt down boar or defend herself in any meaningful way. So he's really resorted to a desperate tactic here.
That is something to know, yeah.
That is so smart of him to do. Like, I would have never thought about doing that. I would have just, you know, built a lumber camp.
it requires a ton of micro because he can't let this house finish. Otherwise, he just has a random building out on the front line that's wasted resources.
Well,
that he
I was
didn't
going to
want.
say, if I tried to do this strat, I would have 4 houses by now around this tower. So, yeah, it does require a bit of micro.
Yeah, I mean, it's working. And doesn't she get more experience building than she does gathering? Or am I making
Yeah,
that up?
it's plus
She gets
4 versus
for
plus 2.
building, whereas she gets 2 for gathering. So yes.
So this is going to be a faster level 2. Honestly, we could see this even in 1v1s in the future from the players who are good enough to have this level of micro.
I don't know. I don't think you normally want to float a bunch, you know, like 50 wood.
Yeah, I mean, 50 is not a ton, though.
Yeah, but she could also, when she's gathering resources, be contributing to your economy. She is essentially idle right now.
Well, now she's level 2, so
Now
she'd be
she's
idle
level
either
2,
way.
yes.
Okay, quick bickering. First military ship out, archer ship for Puppypaw. It's going to have to be heavily micro not to fall into the trap of the tower.
Especially once it gets air slits in, which is currently happening.
Which is just about to come through, yep. Yeah, so this now should be able to one-shot any ship coming in, of which Puppypaw does not have another dock. So I'm guessing, I think this will get one-shotted. Should do. Oh. Is he target firing the dock? I guess he's trying to bring the dock down then.
Yeah, because it automatically would target.
It automatically otherwise would, unless he's hard aggroed the... Yeah, he's hard aggroed at 100%, yeah.
Yeah, the bummer here is that Talon may be going down, as Wam has already built a ram with his Dark Age army, taking advantage of that opposite bonus of not needing to research siege engineering and get a blacksmith.
Yeah, and 6 spears. Joan, it depends on the micro on Joan. She is more than capable of killing them with the AoE, but they are more than capable of killing her, so... Yeah, and it does look like he's going to give up against the spears for now,
Joan could get hunted here.
Have arrived. And now it's actually a question of whether she dies or not. She has a long way to go to get back to safe territory.
It looks like Joan's going down. She will get a little bit of XP from the fighting, but there she goes.
Yep.
Of course, Anotand instantly respawning her back in the base. Letting her die was just, you know, like it was a quick recall to get back where he wanted to go.
Exactly, almost like League of Legends, you know, saving a bit of time on that, getting her into the exact spot he wanted for her to be in.
Yeah. Precisely. Agree.
And I do find this a bit interesting because if you look at the civilizations, all 4 of these really would benefit from the fishing, and we've already addressed that the 3D clan has come up with a plan, and they're just going to let Cat gather as much fish as he can and try to boom ahead. While Anotand is fighting, but Anotand is fighting down. He has no fishing against 2 civilizations who are on shoreline fish. So,
yep.
The
Good point to note,
is Cat going to be able to, you know, boom up and explode out in time to really drive these 2 back into their base?
Well, the boom definitely has been successful. 2 TC song with that many fishing boats means that at some point Cat will be the strongest player in the game.
Yeah.
However, I do think that Wam is going to be the first to Castle Age, since it's already halfway through on the House of Wisdom, which means that the relics could be going over to the 2 Canadian brothers.
That does look like it may be the case.
Yeah, and we're seeing both sacred sites being capped. Relics very close in their vicinity as well, so I'm assuming that they will be taking those relics back. I know. Ah, my bad. Wrong player. I think Puppypaw's way off castle, is he not? Have a look. Yeah, a little bit of a way.
This does feel like that classic team game experience with randoms, where you've got your teammate who's only built eco for the first 15 minutes of the game, and you just have to pray that he's either gonna carry you or he's gonna do nothing, and you're gonna lose a slow death. So we'll have to see if Cat has it in him.
Sound very
Well, on
familiar?
that note, Anotand did go out. He got the boar with Joan. Now that he's had time, that's going to get Joan of Arc a little closer to level 3. And as he's coming down to try to deny this lower sacred, he runs into the Ghazi Raiders, gets a few good picks.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Finishing off the wolf as well.
And I think he knows that at this point he wants to go deny the sacred, though, because as long as they're holding on to those, that's free gold, and if they manage to grab the third one, although it's pretty far back towards the Cat and Anatand's base, that would be a win condition ticking away. Sorry, the fourth one. They already have 3. And let's not forget that that means that Puppypaw is currently bringing in 375 gold a minute with 0 villagers.
And the monk was spotted, and is now being chased down by the spears.
Yeah, that monk's probably going to get caught. Joan was chasing away some spears who were trying to sneak back and finish the wall. There's now a knight who's finished the decap, and I thought he might be there to patrol against any further knight or further monks, but it looks like he's coming back to rendezvous with the army.
He's actually no, he's patrol. He's happy to sit on the relic. Just it looks
yes.
like he may very well stumble into another relic being captured.
Yeah, speaking of, Puppypaw trying to get away with the relic near middle here, and Anatand's army has managed to spot it and is trying to run it down. And that will be denied for now. Ooh, there's a mango from Wam, though, which is really scary.
Yes, semi-finals are best of 3. So currently we have the Mister and Recon fighting Crackly and Baltune. Simultaneously, we now have this going on, which is Puppypaw and Wam, 3D, obviously Cat and Anotand in a best of 3. Both fighting first on Canal. Trying to remember what the other maps are. They were done last minute out of fairness. We didn't want to have people prep for them too much. We wanted to give it a bit of a shocker, bit of a whatever you want to call it. So you've got a Ram and Ram and a Mangonel now in the on the central dock of Cat. Although that archer ship is getting some
fishing boats alive. That's
damaging.
huge.
Yeah.
Joan comes in, she gets an AoE on the spears in middle.
Mango's on the run. Looks like it's gonna go down now.
Yeah, that offense from Wam actually gets not only pushed off, but it looks like punished, and he may have lost a lot more than intended there. Puppy has shown up, and they're just trying to... Oh, and
Level
Joan
3's
with a
hit.
whip by AoE.
Yeah, I do love that.
Like, yeah, I think...
Wow, that was some really good micro.
Yeah.
We just saw a lot of the army of both Puppy and Wam get taken out, and suddenly, I believe the military count might be turning against them a bit, after they've had quite a bit of map control up until now.
The walling is incredible. Look at these both teams walling over each other here. One walling from... Okay, there. This one villager has a mammoth task of getting all these walls up. Equally does this one.
So I do want to say, Anotand and Cat both have more eco than Wam and Puppypaw, with Cat currently at 100 eco, the Puppypaw is 55.
Yes.
So there is a big eco lead for the 3D clan.
Yeah, military count wise, Anotand currently on 8 spears, 3D Cat, all the way up to 10 Juganu and 30 Palace Guard. Wam currently on only 3 knights, 5 spears, 6 crossbows. So kind of similar to Anotand, and then Puppypaw is massed out just a little bit of everything. He's sitting at about 40 military right now. So both of these teams have a player who's military, who's very small at the moment, and then one player who's massed up quite a bit, looking for round 2 here. On this upper middle sacred site, Joan of Arc running away now as it looks like she's being chased down. And it's very interesting. She managed to heal up just in time.
Yes,
The Palace Guard came to support.
Yeah.
And now she has managed to pick off a couple of knights.
This is what I was hoping to see, like so in sync. I'm loving this from these two guys. They are. You can tell they've been playing a lot together. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, we're starting to really see how people combine armies. The moment one of them says, "Hey, I have a weakness here," the other comes to support, and as a result, we're seeing a lot more back and forth now that we've reached the semifinals. And it's become quite difficult for either of these teams to find an opening where they can just finish out the game. All right, on the south side, we see Puppypaw coming up, trying to do damage, but 3D Cat is quick to respond and is putting up a keep.
Yeah, so interestingly, he swapped the side he was going to put the keep up on in order to help defend against his attack coming in. Switch the side of the wood line, rather.
Who do you guys currently favor at this point in the game?
I'm going to go out on a limb and go with the... Sorry to interrupt, Nanny. I'm going to go out on a limb and go with the 3D boys. I feel like Anotand did a really good job of allowing a Cat to boom. And we know what China's like booming. I mean, stalling in the north is just fucking crazy. But I can't give much more than that. I feel like it's going to be one on particularly... I mean, they're rallying armies up. It's getting some serious military camps are coming up now. And I feel like... potentially a single battle could sway it into a snowball, but yeah, so I feel like it could go either way, but I'm swinging towards 3D. 3D boys!
Yeah, no, I agree with one thing you said there, which is that we've passed the point of a quick finish. At this point, both teams are quite in sync with their teammates. The numbers are very similar. We actually see Puppypaw clicking up to Imperial now.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like this game will not be settled in the Castle Age. So, in that case, we have to talk about Imperial Age for these civilizations. Delhi wants to get up quick because Delhi's going to take a long time in order for their upgrades to come in. Abbasid, on the other hand, once they get there, have one of the best Imperials. They have some of the best trash armies if it comes to it. You really hope it doesn't. But more importantly, they have culverins, and their technologies help to counter a civilization like Joan of Arc quite well. On the other hand, French, probably going to come into their own in the late game. They have the guild hall up. He's going to be able to save up key resources. He's on food right now, which is a known strategy for helping you to get to Imperial. And his teammate is China. We don't need to say anything about how devastating they can be in the late game. So I would say that if we were looking at 1v1s, China versus Delhi is a bit of a mismatch, but then on the other hand, Abbasid do really well against both French and Joan. Both teams have something in their favor right now. I really think that we could be in for a long one. There's just so much going back and forth.
What do you think, Quill?
Yeah, I agree with Nani that it's hard to call, which I think you understood as well. I think I'm gonna believe in the Canadian superstars of Puppy and Wham. You know, I think that Delhi Imperial is underrated, and you know we're gonna see that. Just it's not underrated for the first 10 minutes. So hopefully they make it to 30.
I will say it's worth looking at the state of both sides. Anotand is currently at 90 eco, Cat is at 120, Puppy is at only a 60 currently, and then Wham is at 100, so Puppy might need to catch up just economy-wise.
Some palace guards in the back line. So much going on.
Anotand has started to go, there's a red palace going down in the south.
And in the dead center, we have the Great Wall Gatehouse over the crossing in middle.
Oh.
Yeah, those are two very powerful landmarks.
What do you think of the placement of those two? I like the gatehouse. I'm not sure about this. I'd maybe preferred it a bit further forward, but...
So, obviously on Canal, a
this?
big issue is normally the river. Even late game, it's possible for a ship, if you leave the river unguarded, to come right up to your base and do a lot of damage. It's actually a little bit less of an issue in 2v2 because you can see with the extra land, more of the base is further back. But normally you would want something defensive in middle like this. It also denies the crossing. Now, Wham and Puppy can't easily go from north to south. They have to go all the way back around to their base. And I think finally the main thing is that with that covering middle and with Red Palace covering the south side, the battleground is one that the 3D clan have chosen now. They're going to have to fight the 3D clan up here on the north, because if they want to push into the middle or the south, they're going to be fighting into two absolute powerhouse landmarks.
Ah, very good point. And I mean, if they've got the foresight for it, which I'm sure they do, is I would want to fight in the north because my opponent's eco is all in the north, or certainly Wham's is. So the further I push on that side, the more eco I potentially destroy. Whereas my south side's covered by two, spectacular defensive landmarks. So yeah, okay, I like that.
Yeah, and reinforcing the south side, we currently have Cat putting up another Chinese keep, and I'm not sure if they're going to finish it, but we do see blueprints for a wall down south. They're making sure that if they get pushed in this direction, it's going to be extremely painful.
Puppypaw does have knights that have made it past the first layer of defenses here.
Yep.
For a nice little drive by, just to get some eco damage.
Yeah, but where are they going to go? They just left the range of one keep. They entered another. If they head north, they go back to the Red Palace.
Yeah.
And the answer is they're just going to go to an early grave as they get completely mopped up here.
Served as some,
like I said,
scouts.
I think at this point, well, Anotand and Cat have made a decision, and they've simply reinforced the south side to such an extent. And I love the spacing of these keeps, by the way. They're all just outside of each other's range, so there is no way you can run by these without running into at least a few of them. And that means that if they want to push, they either have to go heavy on siege, or they have to go to the north side, which is where we can already see 3D Cat's army is waiting for them.
Yeah. And a couple of culverins, some hand cannons now getting weaved in. Bombard at the ready. It's a nice army. Well, he's going to leave that siege behind.
Does this map have 4 sacred sites in 1v1 too?
No.
It's a lot.
No,
a lot of sacred.
2. I think it's just 2. 1 on either side. Might have 3.
Okay, we see the fight starting.
Oh, big Jean bop, but then she gets shot up. She did a bop, but now she's dead.
it's a bit precarious. Wam is trying to fight one army against two in the north, but the reason he's doing that is because actually down south, Puppypaw has put up a siege workshop. He's produced 2 cannons, and he is going to try to push through those many defenses. And if he does that, to that team's credit, both armies are to the north. They are in line of sight, so they know it. That means that the defense is going to be very light, where the eco for Cat and Anotand currently are.
Yeah, the big battle in the north side is expectedly going well for the side with the 2 armies. Keeps coming down. That is what you expect. That's very good play by these 2 pushing. And these are the kinds of critical decision making in a 2v2 where you have to tell your partner, hey, do I need help here? Be honest. Is it okay for you to push? And that's the decision that Puppypaw and Wam have made, is it's okay for Puppypaw to go. The Red Palace is down, villager kills are happening on the south side. Massively, while the attack continues on the north. And now it's a question for Anotand and 3D Cat to say, hey, do we need to rally back to our south side, or can we keep pushing in the north?
Yeah, and I think they have to take this threat seriously, because the south side had both wood lines. It was where they were working gold, and you can see farms are currently being idled. They literally hit every single economy building with this push from Puppypaw.
Forward keep coming down for Puppypaw as well to try to bolster this offense. I mean, this is where you want it, right? To prevent, help with the push, prevent him trying to get that Red Palace back up, which looks like it's going to be very hard to do right now. Also seeing a lot of horsemen coming out from Anotand. Are we potentially gold staff? He's not. He's got 2,500.
Yeah. The horseman switch might be because of the hand cannoneers. Would love to see a mangonel get added in maybe, but right now this is just a scramble to see how much ground they're going to lose. Because this army from Puppypaw is very elite.
Yeah. And this keep coming down is just going to really help these ranged units here. As they are currently, I mean, it looks like they're, it looks like the kind of the Imperial Guard and the Horsemen is a good combination to defeat this, but, with a keep defending this army or helping hold the position is, the villager drive-by, where are they going? Bernard just misses the 30-odd bills running by there.
Yeah, we see heavy fighting, both sides pouring in. These are not concentrated armies at this point. Neither side wants to give ground, so they're trickling in under this keep, which you can see he's already queued up a cannon in Springhold. Puppy is definitely going to be getting the better trade, not just because he is the static defense, but also because he's got such a massive hand cannoneers. That pretty much the most elite unit he could be using while his opponent's forced into a choke point.
Yeah, and not to note, or to note as well, that the 10 scholars backing them up.
Yeah.
Keep does go down though. And Cat and Anotand tap.
Yeah, they felt that they were unable to hold at this point. Their eco became exposed when the Red Palace went down, and they were unable to recover, so we just see the momentum. What's interesting, you'll see it too, is that in that situation, Anotand and Cat combined their armies in the north. They were fighting 2v1. They were obviously gaining an immense amount of ground quickly, but Puppy and Wam risked splitting their armies, and while the northern army got overrun a good bit, on the south side they were just able to hit them where it hurt, and their split tactics actually managed to prevail.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to, I think, is being able to, hold a 1v1 or switch to a 2v1 on one side and go, actually, I need some more help on mine, and having that flow and that dynamic and being in sync with your teammate that much, and obviously the brothers in this scenario were better than the clan. So yeah, fair play. First 2v2 I've seen on Canal, and it was as Wookie said, if I can quote Wookie so much, banger, absolute banger.